I was drawn to group coaching because I wanted to create something that would allow me to continue to grow my business, but allow me to do it in an area that potentially couldn't afford the services that I was looking to sell in the industry that I'm looking to sell. So to create something where multiple attendees would be able to generate me the same income became really important. And it also allowed me to do something I really wanted to do in a space I really wanted to do it. So through the group coaching course, I built the Healthy High Street program, and that was around small businesses. And small businesses don't have budgets for business coaches generally, don't have budgets for many things, but this would allow them to do something where I could guarantee that I could make it worth their while and that the money that they were spending would be brought back to them. And if it wasn't and they decided that they really didn't like it, I could go and show them how to do it quite comfortably. In my corporate experience, nearly 99% of all the problems we had was due to a breakdown in communication somewhere in the chain. Someone didn't know something, someone said something that was incorrect. And the view behind the Healthy High Street really was about allowing a community of people to communicate better and encourage lines of communication that weren't there. I was seeing the local Facebook site where people just didn't know big events were happening. And I was thinking, how does that happen if we can get them to talk to each other more regularly? So bringing these businesses together allows that communication to output and take input. And that became let's start with communication. And that is the first week of the High Street program. Group coaching is bringing a group of people together that have a very similar desire. For my course, it was about people that wanted to generally have a higher footfall, but ultimately generate more revenue through their business. So they all have the same goal, but very different ways of doing it. So on the high street, you have IT people, you have cafes, you have small stores selling utility objects, lots and lots of different things that you'd expect to find on the high street. So all with their own unique talent, unique way of doing things, different business experience. And in the group coaching course, we have a group of people with different coaching experience, different knowledge, different, time, different target audiences. So it's about bringing that group of disparate, different people together with the same goal, and then using their experiences and their knowledge and their, understanding of what works and what doesn't to support each other, to help them and really move them forward. That's probably where the importance to differentiate between the coaching and the teaching or facilitation happens, because when you bring all those people together, certainly my experience was very much they thought it was going to be a teaching. One of my early proof of concept clients said, "What are you going to teach me?" And my response to that was nothing. I'm not here to teach you today. And it created an interesting dynamic and an interesting start. But we then start to build that group and allow them to work through those challenges that they have and that they've brought to the table. And we don't do the teaching or the general facilitation. We really help bring it out of them. The big piece for me in the coaching skill set in the group dynamic is about that ability to create and hold that safe space and that trust. In a one-to-one situation, your client will work with you. They may have known you for some time, but in a group situation, you're bringing people together for the first time, maybe for 6 weeks. There's no real reason why these people should trust each other and share their secrets, other than that they've all come to the same place at the same time, and I've now asked them something. So to be able to create that safe environment where someone feels capable of talking and sharing their opinion or asking for an opinion and knowing that it's not going to cause an issue of some kind is really important. So the magic, as I see from the group coaching, is when someone has their aha moment, someone who's been struggling with something. It's not necessarily something that's come from the course or the content or what we've been discussing. It's come from the input of someone else. Someone else has understood it, translated it, shown that they understand it, and given some response that just allows that person to totally see it in a different way. So that problem's no longer a problem, or that issue has a solution, or they know exactly what they're going to do tomorrow. It's that moment. And seeing someone make that progress in your room or your Zoom room, whatever it might be, that's magic. And you know that it's going to make a difference. Of course, did give me the confidence to go and do it. I was already coaching one-to-ones. I had this idea. I didn't really know what to do with it, but it did help me refine in terms of who was my target audience and why did I want to do it and what was the benefits for the clients as well as myself. It gave me an idea how to shape it. It gave me an idea about the timing and the content. It gave me an idea of how did I need to market it? Where was my target audience? Once you start thinking about it in terms of your own audience, it suddenly becomes really clear. And for me, going through the course, I think it was week 3, I knew exactly how to run a group coaching course. I was watching it in front of me. I was hearing other people's ideas. All I now needed to do was have everything I wanted in my course in the way I needed it to go and take it to market. How, what content did I want? What sales materials did I need? Where was I going to, advertise it? What was I going to price it at? And these were the things that I was learning week on, week out, and I was able to discuss with the people on the course. So I think I finished in December, did my proof of concept in February, and ran it in March. The difference between being in business and corporate business in particular, where I was a small cog, in a big machine, really. Running Armour Coaching and running the Healthy High Street, I was the only cog in the machine. I had to do the marketing. I had to understand the target audience. I had to create the content. I had to deliver the course, whereas all these were taken by parts of the organization. And when I created my course, I looked at it in that same way. And how do I blend these two environments? With the Healthy High Street, it became, well, we do have a marketing department on the high street because we have a social media expert. We do have a kind of an HR department because we have several recruitment companies we have catering department because we have loads of cafes in the high street. And I looked at what was there and I thought, actually, we have a corporation here that if I can make that work as a single community as it would in a single company, then that's how my course starts to develop. And that was very much the idea, but it came from questioning what I knew, turning it against what I wanted to do, and creating the content for the clients that I thought I could go and deliver this to. Whenever I talk about it, I get very enthused. Whenever I talk about it externally, I get very enthused and really good feedback. Lots of people like to talk about it. The format that I created is the format that I use elsewhere now. So I do group coaching in a corporate environment now, and I still use the same format, different exercises, but some of the content is very similar. So I always start with communication. I just think it's such an important topic, and it's such an easy way of showing groups of people that maybe need to work together really, really closely how badly they do it. The impact the course had on me in a corporate setting was the tools. It's a tool. It allows me to prepare for an hour or 2 hours or 4 hours if we're doing something significantly larger with a bigger group. The formula that I want to use, identify what I want the group to get out, or I've been told what I want the objective to be. And then we look at how do we make sure that everyone engages. What standards of presence do we put on the wall? How do we communicate that in advance? Because we have some busy CEOs that are constantly on their phone. We want them to put it down for that time. We want them to be fully engaged. And really, I'm explaining to them, they set the tone and the example. If you can get it at the top and you get the top people in the room to follow that, everyone else will do the same. Very rarely does that change. But that formula allows you to say, okay, we are going to have a grounding exercise, or we're going to get to know each other a little bit better. We're going to do something out of the norm. How do we break down barriers very quickly? How do we get them open to engaging? And the fundamentals that I took out of the group coaching course are what I use when I'm putting these together.